Damn, what is up, my internet friends? Welcome I gotta admit, I'm a little tired. That kind of a little bit of sluggishness that comes along when you go to the Mahoning Drive-In with your buddy pals, your buddy cats, and they show the 70s Italian slasher films, 3 of them in a row, and then it gets so foggy by the last one, you can't make a lick of sense of what's going on the screen. You just see some fuzzy shapes on there, and it's subtitled in English, but there's no way in hell you're reading those subtitles through that fog. And you eat a regional junk food called a club sandwich that's actually like a chocolate covered peanut butter thing, reminiscent of one of those chocolate wafer things. You know what I'm talking about? And you're like, you know, and you're trying to adhere to some pure paleo diet so that you can have a perfectly steady energy level and lots of endurance and mental clarity. But then you're like, this might be my only chance to eat a club sandwich, one of these things. Is it worth it? Who knows? But here I am on a mountain with some technology that seems to be functioning, so I really can't complain. Maybe some of these, maybe some practical things will come into the equation. Like, how do you do it? What's your tips for maintaining a healthy ass diet on the road? What's your road food game? Subway? You can get a chopped salad there. Ew. Ew. Anyways, you might notice that maybe I'm a little flippant for the beginning, but we can probably rein this in. I figure you probably appreciate this kind of stuff anyways. But if you want a more kind of like maybe earnest and clear-eyed and serious but uplifting walking and talking experience, I'd recommend the previous video. I think that one gets pretty good towards the end, although I'm saying now it gets pretty good towards the end, but also it's like my memory of that experience is well, it includes the knowledge that my memory of it is not even anything close to what the actual experience is. What does that mean, even? What the actual experience was? What does that mean? So apparently I have a memory of some actual experience, and I feel compelled to state that that memory is not sufficient or something to the actual experience. But the question is, what is that experience beyond the memory of it? Well, there's the video of it. There's that. There's whatever power there is to communicate some amount of that interiority to you. Don't worry, we'll go on for a while here, and I'll be rambling, and I suspect that what I'm going to end up doing is starting to become gradually more cognizant of the affectations and that I'm manifesting here, and start to get them under control a little bit, so that we can calm the waters a little bit, so we can peer down some. But boy howdy, is this a refreshing morning. It's nice and foggy. Just like me. It's a foggy morning inside and out. But what a joy, you know what I'm saying? Working technology. What a miracle. I'm always doing that thing where I'm waiting for an ideal state to walk and talk, or I'm perfectly clear-headed, or at least perfectly in perfect physiological equilibrium to provide the best conditions for whiling in. This rain feels so good. Let's give you some POV action. I'm just apologizing for my maybe I don't have to apologize yet. Maybe it's too soon. For my, what is it? My fluctuations. That foggy feeling you get after the day after you've eaten some junk food at the drive-in. It was a good thing for the fog, though. I was grateful for the fog, because otherwise those violent images would just be... Hi there.
Morning.
Morning. If not for the fog, those graphic images would have just inundated my delicate eyes, and I would be laden here with explicit imagery coursing through my neurons. And, you know, maybe skewing my worldview towards the darker side. But in came that fog. A cloud from on high. I mean, literally, like from this mountain. It's like down the drive-ins down in the valley from this very mountain. Maybe, I don't think we'll actually be able to see it from here, but because it's still foggy up here. And then you can just watch the screen with some fuzzy images on it. And you can see the lines from the projector. I'm not going to be a putz about this and start making some kind of Plato's Cave analogy. Let's get some more POV. Out of sorts. A little bit. Out of sorts, but in good cheer. Thanks to you. Thanks to you that I feel some form of communion at the moment. Even through the fog. I'm getting soaked. Don't worry, I'm confident that this will be a great video. Have you ever heard me express that much confidence before? What's this, a microfiber towelette? Maybe somebody left it here to pick it up on the way back. Maybe, no, but then maybe somebody found it on the trail and then left it here for somebody else to find it. And then what are the chances that other person's going to find it? It's a nice hand towel. It looks clean. Kirkland signature. Do I take it or leave it? It's one of these excruciating moral dilemmas, ethical dilemmas. On one hand, it could provide a minor improvement in my life. The next time I have something I want to wipe, I'll be like, oh yeah, I have this nice, clean Kirkland signature hand towel, I'll just go ahead and wipe this. And then on the other hand, there's like this small possibility that, you know, for some reason, some hiker left it there to pick up on their way back. Why would they? That's unlikely, isn't it? Am I going to come back this way? I don't know if I'm coming back this way. What do I do? What do I do? Spend the next 3.5 hours pondering this moral dilemma, ethical dilemma. It's not. Might as well. It's not. That could be kind of fun. What do you think? Let me drink some water while I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna leave it for now, and then it's possible that I'll come back this way. Nobody's gonna leave that there in the rain on purpose, because it'll be soaked. I'm gonna take it. I hope somebody's not. I hope somebody doesn't come back and is sad that their hand towel has been stolen. If this is your hand towel, just let me know and I'll mail it to you. Oh, what if somebody left it there as a trail marker? What if they were like, we're hiking this way, I'm gonna leave this towel here at the intersection so that we know where to turn. That ups the ante a little bit. Because what if they're coming back looking for that to like remember where to turn? That tips the scale for sure. Boink. Here, I'll even what we got to do here is fold it up nicely. Then in the event that somebody actually does come back looking for this, they'll be like, "Oh, someone folded it up nicely." Yeah, don't be leaving things all messy out here. Keep it tidy. I don't feel like we're digging deep into the fabric of reality or anything like that at the moment. Or maybe we'll revise that assessment later. You ever have that feeling where you're like, I could be doing something more meaningful with my time? I'm not saying I'm having that now, but there's times when I have that where I'm like, shouldn't I be doing something that's more actively saving the world? I don't know. I'm just thinking about being at the drive-in and passing some time looking at fuzzy images on the screen and hearing people scream in Italian. Eating popcorn and club sandwiches. And thinking, man, shouldn't I be out there building a sustainable commune or something like that? You know that feeling? But it's like if sometimes, just at this moment, it feels like I gotta wait. I gotta wait to do those things. Because of COVID. You want to start a commune with me later? I swear to God, I won't be the charismatic, abusive leader figure. I promise it won't be a culty cult. But let's do this. You know, let's take our stimulus money, throw together and get a bitchin' plot of land. We'll build some dope straw bale houses, get a DC photovoltaic microgrid set up, grow a bunch of food. It'll be great. There'll be no problems at all. I'm just kidding. But I'm only half kidding. I was kidding about the last part. Sure, there'll be problems. But we'll be failing forward, as they say. We'll be failing forward. And at the times when we do decide to go to the drive-in theater, we'll feel good about it, because we're like, yeah, we live on a sick-ass sustainable commune that we built ourselves. We earned this. We can watch the horror movies with a deeper sense of enjoyment, knowing that we'd actually be ready for the zombie apocalypse. People do it, you know. Some people do it successfully. I think I'm going to the zone. I think I'm walking the wrong way here. This would be the way down, I believe. But maybe I can just make sure. Look at that fog. I hear some voices. How's it going?
Hi.
Is it this way go to the steep mountainside down?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. All right, we're gonna turn around in a second, and we'll come back this way later when it's time to end. Just give those people a chance to get a head start. How's this? Do we got any distorting water droplets on the lens? Let's get some more. Let's get some more distortion here. How do I look? What a nice day. If I hadn't slept in my car out at the drive-in, I probably wouldn't think to come out here today. But I don't know if I can start a comment with just anyone. I don't know. You gotta trust each other. You really gotta trust each other. Maybe I don't know, maybe I don't need to start the commune. Maybe you already got one started. Maybe you got one going already. Maybe you've watched enough of me here on the tube. Probably not. Probably not. If you're a commune nerd, maybe you don't spend that much time on the tube. But if you do, maybe you've seen enough walking and talking where you trust me and you'd be like, Yeah, I'd have that guy as a land mate. He seems trustworthy. As far as I can tell from all the hours I've seen of what he's uploaded. You haven't seen my shadow. Or maybe you have. Sometimes that comes through here. Just an aside, give me your tips for integrating your shadow. I always hear about, you know, you got to integrate your shadow, but I honestly don't know how to actually go about doing that. Am I being too reactive with this urge to hit the land, as they say? I've been thinking about it a while. I've done it before. I'm experienced. I got some experience. Believe in me. I'm not a total noob. I'm not a total noob to the communal experience. I'm probably more experienced than 99% of people out there at the communal deal. Let me on your land. I'll help. We'll work hard and then we'll kick back and enjoy ourselves. You'll get a little tired of me at times, but then I'll go off on a road trip for a little while and we'll get a break from each other, and you'll be glad to have me back. I'll contribute a valuable maybe that's stretching it. I'll contribute to the philosophical aspect of your project. The philosophical underpinnings, as well as the spiritual element, and without falling into any new age trappings. I can guarantee that. I think. to the best of my awareness. I think I can avoid the New Age trappings. Which is kind of to say, I mean, if you're into the New Age trappings, we might want to reconsider a little bit. There's that. Oh yeah, we got some nice distortion going on. It's good for when I'm being kind of brash. A brash loudmouth like today. It's complemented well by the visual distortion provided by these raindrops. Distorting the shape of my face, or the front of my head, if you will. Boy, I'm getting soaked. I'm a little bit distorted today, as you can tell. I'm going off on some aspirational tip. But with some seriousness behind it. I'm partly serious. But at the same time, I realize oops, why is the flashlight on? Let's see. Let's make sure our power's going here. Just a moment. I'm ready to cook dinner for you. I want somebody to share the roadkill deer with. I'm ready to garden with you. I'm ready to cook up a whole mess of food. A whole mess of food. I'm ready for that jumbo-sized sauce pot. I'm ready for them bulk buckets of nut butter. Buying in bulk. I'm ready for that buying from the distributor. I'm ready for that everything in the kitchen is clearly labeled, and the place where it lives is clearly labeled. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. My cubby hole on the shelf with my name on it, where I put my special snacks. And then your cubby hole next to there, where you put your special snacks. You know what I'm saying? It's the dream. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that circle of check-ins at the meeting. Let's do them check-ins. How you doing? How have you been the last week? Or since the last meeting? Let's scheme. Let's scheme. I want to be scheming with somebody. I'm tired of scheming alone. I'll make you some Paw ice cream you'll never forget. Non-dairy. We'll be gutting the roadkill together. It's way more fun that way. We'll have our group YouTube channel. Or not. Maybe not. How long can I go off on this? I just want to find enough freaks. The right sort of freaks. Is what I'm doing merely in the realm of signification? And it would be better to start living the signified. I think there's some truth to that. Seems like there's a lot of aspects of my life outside of making these videos that could use some transforming. And I used to do that. I mean, well, what I'm saying is I used to live that lifestyle more. I was all up on that land. I had the little cubby. Howdy.
It is. It really isn't. Hello.
Hi.
It really isn't necessary.
And at some point I returned to a relatively more conventional life sitch, so that that would allow me, I guess to focus on like communicative action or something like that. Go into a relatively conventional life sitch in order to let my freak flag fly in a more public way. to insert it into Normie land. But I think I'm at some point where, well, just because, well, I guess the thing that I found was that, hey, this is nice looking. I guess what I found was, in some of the places where people were living a more revolutionized lifestyle, that maybe I didn't align with them so much in philosophical or aesthetic or spiritual terms or something like that. And so I kind of carved out a little bubble where I could pursue those things, no holds barred. But it does get kind of lonely. And but now I feel like I'm at this point where I feel like that conflict might not be as present anymore. Hopefully. I mean, or maybe it's like I can be a little less secretive. About my aesthetic or endeavors, and I also feel like they no longer really depend very much on living in an urban center. Doesn't really matter if I'm in the city so much. I don't know. But then at the same time, I'm very familiar with this, with the grass is always greener phenomenon. And here we are in COVID, and a lot of the social benefits that you'd otherwise get in the city are not there so much. Nothing going on. I don't know, even if there was, it's there's not so much going on that I was really interested in anyways. I'm just kind of tired of doing everything by myself. Everybody's into shit that I'm not into in the city. I don't know. I mean, by and large. But I guess that's normal. We've walked here before, but it looked completely different before. Maybe I can just talk these ideas out of my head. Can't I just bypass all these concerns and via merely the total dedication to this practice of walking and talking, make everything else make sense in my life? It feels like that sometimes, for a little while. And it's not like everybody can up and move to a commune right this moment. Cities are important, you know. That density of population has a lot of good effects. Here's this plant in the borage family, I believe. I forget exactly what it's called. Let's get up close of that. Oh yeah. Some kind of borage fam plant. See, I know my plants. I'll fit right in. you know, I do think it makes ecological sense to have the population concentrated in cities. But I'm just saying, I'm pretty sick of it at the moment. But I can't just go willy-nilly driving to every single commune in these COVID times. Yeah, I know I'm very seemingly focused on the external. But I could just kind of sum it up and be like, I'm tired of doing all this stuff by myself. And I just mean the basic processes of living. It's so inefficient and not fun. Maybe I just need a good talking to with some communard friend out there to relate to me the trials and tribulations of communal life and how hard that is living with a bunch of people. And maybe that could be just the perspective I need to be more satisfied. I do that with my friend who has like a really normal job. I envy his security and structure, or I mean his financial security and his structure, and he envies my freedom and my time to do wacko shit like this. And so then when we meet up and talk about it, then he tells me the misery of working his job that feels meaningless to him, and I tell him kind of like the misery of constantly feeling like you don't know what the hell you're doing, and not being, and having so much uncertainty as to how the hell you're gonna continue, integrate in this society. or if you're ever going to be able to really integrate normally in this society. Howdy.
Hello.
And the loneliness of it. And then, yeah, so we I don't know if the term is exactly commiserating. It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, commiserating, but with opposite life circumstances, which seems to help each of us get the kind of perspective that lets us be somewhat more satisfied with our circumstances. Just to realize, just to remind each other of to what degree we might be suffering from the grass is greener itis. And to appreciate the good things so far, the positive aspects of our respective positions. So basically what I'm saying is maybe it could be useful if one of you communards out there can let me know all the crappy parts of communal living. Just remind me of it. You know, how swept up you are in other people's emotional roller coasters all the time. How frustrating it gets when you can't find the dang cheese grater in the kitchen. How you always gotta kind of be subject to other people's not so political ideology. Or just that thing of, you know, if you're living and working with people, like you gotta spend a heck of a lot of time with somebody, and you're gonna get really familiar with all those, with all the little annoying aspects of them. And then if you're gonna be like, yeah, and then if you're gonna be like, what's going on with my technology here? There's a ghost in the machine. If you're gonna have your livelihood all entangled up with a bunch of other people, then you kind of have to like be concerned if they're like smoking cigarettes or drinking too much. I mean, I feel like then I'm kind of like a little more compelled to like get on people's cases. But maybe that's a good thing, ultimately. My technology's going a little haywire here. It's a little on the fritz, but let's check out this cool praying mantis for a moment. Let me get the pop on the old macro lens. Get a gander at this mantis. Yo. This is this is close around the spot where that one time we saw that mantis eating a freaking bumblebee's head. It had already eaten the whole body but left the head. What a psycho. What a psycho. Hey there. Let's get even closer. Oh. What is your interiority, Manti? What's it like? A lot of people would think I'm living the dream, and I see that. Like sometimes I appreciate that, or I keep reminding myself how lucky I am to have the degree of freedom and time and comfort, I guess, but I don't think it's really something to envy, because I'm just fucking alone like all the time, almost. I don't know. I'm not necessarily like always physically alone, but or I mean I can be, I don't know. It's COVID. It's COVID. And I'm ready to hit the road and see all the homies again. I want to see all the homies. Just a sec, I gotta pee. Boy, we're getting diaristic today, huh? Not what I would have expected. Well, probably the next episode won't be like this. I mean, the previous one was not like this. And I doubt that the next one will be. So if you want something that might be more like universal or something like that, universally relevant, check out some of the other episodes. This one's an outlier. Because we're on some aspirational tip or something. Maybe it's just the autumn is bringing back memories. And that I'm some form out of sorts from physiologically. But I think it's okay. I think this is okay. I think it's okay to do some speculating about life circumstances, if that seems to be the mode of thinking that is going on. I don't want, I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my life every time that I'm and all the time that I'm not on YouTube. I mean, a lot of you chumps in the comment section seem to consider this time that has been uploaded in the form of video wasting my life, which I think is just a laughable idea when you consider the fact that I'm spending hours, I spend like 5, 6, 7 hours hiking around on a mountain, and then 15, 20 minutes on the computer processing and uploading the video. Whereas otherwise, I'm probably spending, you know, many more hours editing and stuff. You jokers, you bunch of jokers in the comment section. Enough from the peanut gallery. No, I mostly feel like I'm wasting my life when I'm not making a YouTube video. Or playing drums. Or having a really good hang. But it's got to be a good hang. With the fucking real homie. Shut up. Hey, no engine braking. Maybe those fogged out slasher movie images did get me. I'm kind of crabby today, huh? I know you love it though. I gotta figure out what time it is. I gotta figure out. So it's been, I don't know, almost a couple hours, and it's like I've been very much inhabiting a personality, it seems like. It feels a lot different than other walkings and talkings. A lot less immediately self-reflexive. But obviously, now there's a hint that we're starting to go there. Now that I'm remarking on the quality of this walking and talking about it being not self-reflexive, not super reflective, but involving more personal narrative and being, yeah, kind of more typically diaristic in that sense. Or I wonder if all this narrative, the content, we got subject matter going on here. There's like autobiographical content in this episode. I wonder if this will, I'm wondering if that will somehow become reflected in like the mode of delivery or something like that. Or if, to put it another way, if this autobiographical content, and it's not all just autobiographical, I mean just talking about communal living, if that's gonna is there some kind of essence there that I am missing that will come and reveal itself in you and I's relationship in the here and now, and not only remain as speculation to an other time, the past or future, an other life situation. Could some of the spirit of what I seem to be searching for manifest right here through the old tube? After all, it is COVID, and while maybe it's perfectly fine and dandy to bring about little aspirational, I don't know, presenting some life options, inserting a little something in your head, planting some seeds in your head. Maybe that's okay, but I'm not sure if what I want to leave you off with is a feeling of lack, because, you know, sometimes, a lot of times, even most of the times, maybe, it seems like our situation, the external characteristics of our situation don't necessarily need to be altered as drastically as we think they do. But as I say that, that's probably most applicable to people in relatively materially, comfy sitches. Depends on your sitch. Honestly, I don't know. I can't say whether or not your sitch needs fixed. I'm not totally sure that my sitch needs fixed, but I'm starting to suspect it more and more. So I can't seem to always be walking and talking. I tend to feel pretty groovy when I'm walking and talking. But I can't seem to manage to constantly be doing it. Should I just try harder at that? Doesn't seem that wouldn't seem balanced, A life that's completely online. That doesn't sound. A life that's completely solitary and online. That doesn't sound very fulfilling. Some bleeding hearts. Ooh. Boy, howdy. How can the essence of what's good and true and beautiful that I seem to experience when I walk and talk, how can that expand to more holistically encompass my life? Let me on your damn commune. I'm a good communard. I might not talk that much, but until I do. I might be a little quiet for your tastes. But I do make a mean pawpaw ice cream. And I'll bring home the roadkill. And I'll bring the good music to listen to. So you won't have to so you don't have to just listen to fucking Grateful Dead all the time. I'll mix up the music. You get tired of that bluegrass all the time. Living on a commune. Nothing but bluegrass, Grateful Dead, and then like top 40 hits like actually you're probably listening to what's that band? MGMT. Everybody on communes just listens to like MGMT. They love that shit. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but it's not my jam. Bleeding hearts all around here. I'll bring you the hip music from the cities. I'm relatively tapped in to what's hot. Your dance parties will get kicked up a notch. You won't have to just listen to MGMT every time you have a dance party. You won't have to listen to Flaming Lips anymore. For crying out loud. You'll see the light. You'll never want to listen to Flaming Lips again. Is this part of integrating my shadow? I don't know. Because, yeah, am I like... As part of my deal that, I seem to hold on to some kind of ideal of acceptance so much that I don't, assert preferences enough. I'm not assertive of preferences enough. No, I'm just all mixed up today. I can't. I'm not like doing any real productive thinking. We're not. I don't feel like I'm moving forward with my thinking today. It's just. I'm just kind of whimsically staying in my personality, and well, I'm manifesting like a very flippant, and what's the word? Irreverent personality. Maybe it had to be. Maybe we have to have one of these irreverent episodes every now and then. But maybe not. Maybe I can, and you know, this it does kind of relate back to talking about my sitch, you know. Because I recognize that it's so goddamn lonely that it probably contributes to the tendency to eat some junk food now and then, and thus to kind of destabilize my blood sugar level, and thereby not granting the best physiological equilibrium to create the conducive conditions for insight, if you catch my drift. And so it could be the case that some kind of adjustment to my sitch could be called for. Some nice shrooms. Are these, I'm not sure, but these look, I mean, it's definitely an Amanita. I feel like sometimes there's a version of Amanita muscaria that looks that color. But, There may be a few, I think there's a few others that can look like that too. I don't particularly care. There's more. Oh yeah, there's more. I don't know. It's kind of a significant amount. I don't know. It's not like I really want to feel like I'm trapped in an infinite death loop. It's not like I want to experience an eternal oblivion. Damn, there's a bunch. There's a ton of these shrooms out here. I don't know, it makes me curious. Makes me pretty curious. I keep seeing more and more. Yeah, I don't know. They're so patchy on that cap. They're so patchy. It does kind of... Damn, there's a bunch. It does make me wonder. Maybe I'll have to... Oh, do some referencing. Holy shit, they're everywhere. There's, yeah, there's a preponderance of portals to another dimension over here. Wow. Damn, it just keeps going. Alright, let's just give me a sec here. Just give me a sec. Let me look something up here. Yeah, so as far as I can tell from looking it up, I think these are in fact the yellow variant of Amanita muscaria. I mean, there's a few that look similar, but as far as I can tell, I think that's what that is. But you know, don't take my word for it if you're trying to do an ID. And I had looked up once the effects of these when I had found some once, and a lot of people's experiences just sounded like hellish nightmares, like what I was talking about, being trapped, like somebody believing that they were dead, feeling that they were dead, and that being an awful feeling. But that they were trapped in that for what felt like eternity, wanting nothing more than to come back to life. So like their experience of that was something like an eternity of being dead, wanting to come back to life. Or somebody having the experience of they turned into like a one-dimensional line. And that sounded pretty scary. And also, like, I don't know, people's subjective experience differing wildly from what they're actually doing from the perspective of their friend or whatever. Like somebody, you know, feeling like they're just inside a video game, but then what their body is doing is like running around shirtless, jumping on moving cars, and jumping on cars and traffic, and vomiting on themselves. or yeah, feeling like they're invincible and they want to jump off a bridge or something. So I'm kind of like, no thanks to that. But also, I just don't care about getting fucked up at all. Like, just doing something for a long amount of time is good enough for me. There's plenty of, there's no shortage of peak experiences. All I have to do is do something like this for a long amount of time. All I have to do is walk and talk for 4 hours. And it's like my reality gets broken up in such a good way. Such like a positive way that feels, that does actually feel linked and integrated with the default mode, with just everyday thinking, with linear thinking. It's like I walk and talk for 4 hours and, you know, get to a kind of altered state that does feel transcendent and expansive and connected to something bigger than myself. But it also feels completely under control, and that I've realized that I'm there in perfect connection with, you know, with the self that started walking a few hours ago, and there's no problem in transitioning back to that whenever I want to. And so it just feels more integrative that way. Hold on, let me get out of here. I'm getting bombarded by gnats. But man, these guys are everywhere. There's so many here. But even and so yeah, I mean, a difference of that is that I can feel really connected with transcendent experience, while still having total access to like linear logical thinking to the extent that I need it at all. Like, if something happens where I need to rely on, you know, problem solving linear thinking, then it's right there at a moment's notice, and I don't have to and I'm not like in total confused land because I have to wait for this substance to wear off. But even that, it's like I just feel less and less obsessed with like discrete experiences, and more and more interested in how can that be integrated in my life in the long run and manifested in the world in the long run. That is to say, and I don't even really desire to be linking, say, the values or the perspectives that I'm talking about with just like taking drugs, because I don't really do that hardly at all. But I mean a shorthand for what I'm talking about. Trying to manifest in my life and in the world in the long run would be the true, the good, and the beautiful, or to be engaged in the pursuit thereof, or oriented towards that as much as possible in the deepest way possible. Which very much requires interfacing with the practical realities of our day. So, I mean, wow, holy shit, look at the colors of these grasses. Damn. No drugs needed. We just stare at this grass for a while. What was I talking about before that? Oh yeah, like just that, like today, even if this walking and talking episode, in itself doesn't seem to be like digging deep into inducing some kind of psychedelic state in you or in me, then that's all right. That's quite all right. But of course, as you might expect me to say, that even when I start to talk about, start to reference the state of this, what we're experiencing now, as start to call it non-psychedelic, then I'm starting to examine the state a little more, because, you know, I say that and then I'm like, it brings up, okay, what would be a psychedelic state? What is it that I am referencing that's not this? Huh? What is it? And then so I examine this state, and when I examine this state, I start to realize that it's not as solid as a thing as I seem to be assuming it was. It's perhaps a little more mutable. But actually, more accurately, it would be to say that there is not really a state as such. We're not really in a state. That is kind of a reductive shorthand that we talk about. That seems useful, or something. Well, I mean, it brought us here. I think it's about turning around time. more or less. I think we can start heading back. When I started, yeah, I don't know. I started, like, this idea that, well, it started from the attitude of, like, not worrying about this being some special state of mind. And then being like, yeah, normal mind. That'll be fine. But then that mental action kind of pointing me actually a little, you know, to looking at what's going on a little closer here, and then realizing that there isn't really a normal state. I don't know, maybe there is. Shit. Because I'm you know, for instance, like, I can look back and compare to, like, say when I was at the drive-in looking at watching some fogged out Italian slasher flicks, eating some popcorn, and if I think of, that seems like what I would think of as pretty normal state. I don't know. Relating socially, maintaining a social self seems pretty normal. But that's not here. That's not here and now. That's something that we're constructing now. Actually, we're kind of constructing. We're constructing that abstract concept out of thoughts. We're actively making that out of thoughts right now. Everything that we're making that out of is here now. Everything, like the concept of a normal state of mind is something that we're actively constructing. A whole set of thought objects that, in relation to each other, starts to build up the construction of linear time, and causation, and the discrete self versus the other. Back in Amanita Land, Yeah, I don't know. Like, to be honest, the one time when I found a bunch of these and identified them as such, I did pick some and dry them out, take them home, and having read online about people's insane experiences, many of them horrific, and like the experience of being dead, or believing, like completely believing that you're dead for eternity. And then I just kept those mushrooms in a bag in a spot where I could look at them. And that just like, you know, I never really like wanted to eat them. I would just look at them, and with the knowledge of what that experience might be like, and it's like just contemplating that was really enough. So like, and specifically like contemplating the experience of believing that you are dead, you are in some like nether region, and just wishing that you could come back to being alive and having a body and having the freedom to move around and express yourself and do that thing. Like just wanting, you know, your normal state, just like wanting nothing more than your normal state. So I would just have these mushrooms like sitting there as like this object of contemplation of that. And I never took them. I think I still have them. It's been over 10 years since I had them, I think. And they're kind of like disintegrated. So like it might actually be time, you know, to replace them with some fresh ones, because like it works better as an object of contemplation actually if it still has its potential, because those things are so old, like who knows if it would even work if I did eat them. But having some freshly dried out ones sitting there with the knowledge that I could have a horrific death experience of wanting just, you know, normal life again, I think that's really powerful, just like having that as a contemplation, because it's like it what it does is bring me back to experiencing it brings me back, like going on that cycle of like projecting myself into that altered state, wanting just this state, and then it cycles me back into examining this state and feeling grateful for it, and reappreciating the wonder of it, the just sheer like holy fucking shit, like here I am with a body, with the possibility of choice, of making choices, and of relating to people, and sharing this shared experience of consciousness and the human experience, and to be able to experience the beauty of the world. I mean, particularly, you know, when I come out to a place like this, and to appreciate what you got while you got it. It's a marvelous thing. And, you know, this makes me think I should re-up my little contemplative object here. Get a fresh one. Like this guy. I don't think these are a controlled substance here, but I'm not sure. And I think these are slightly rotty ones. That one's kind of nice. Are these exactly the same? This one doesn't have the veil. Neither does that one. That one's got, you can see that veil coming off in there. Let me pop this macro lens on you. GoPro, stop recording. There we go. You can see that veil over the gills starting to come off. But yeah, of course, you know, I'm not your primary source for identification. Man, so many of these. Some shriveled ones. Wizened. That one's a little rotty. Man, it's so nice in here. See a bunch over there. You know, it's like trying to collect some nice specimens that could be used in order for me to effectively not use them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to eat these. I just I'm using them for the mental potential of eating them, of like having it right there. So like, you know, it's interesting being just proximitous to these, because it can be a kind of pointer to your own, to you know, re-noticing the marvelousness of being alive and being conscious. And that action's from you. It's not from these, really. You know, just use that as like a reflection, but you don't even need something like that, because it's everywhere. All you have to do is you know, imagine how easy it would be to get hit by a car. And either lose your life or, you know, lose some of your bodily function forever. And you can just contemplate that and appreciate how good you have it relative to that. And that's like a stoicism move too. But also, you know, pretty common sense, if you ask me. I don't think you have to know anything about the ancient Stoics to recognize the power of appreciating what you got. Even if all you got is your consciousness. It's really the most wonderful thing if you stop and think about it. Are there more specimens over this way? Yeah, there's more back here. So basically my message is like, I don't know. I don't have a message. I'm just saying, I don't like doing drugs, but I like contemplating doing drugs. I feel like at some point, maybe this YouTube channel will change. Well, I mean, eventually it's going to have to change. At the very least, I'm going to die someday. But also, yeah, I kind of wonder if I end up changing, you know, my sitch, the characteristics of my sitch. If the YouTube chan is gonna should reflect that, or does it just become reflected in sort of my own quality of mind as I'm doing this? Hold on a sec. Hello. Good. Maybe my living situation can all remain external to this. Maybe my life doesn't have to be included in this directly, but that its effect on my states of being and my the content of my thoughts and so on would be apparent. But I'm also like, I don't know, how can I collaborate more? I mean, there's this I don't think this is not collaboration in the fact that there's a communication going on here that's, you know, wildly imbalanced, and that I'm doing all the talking, but the fact that you watch and listen is really is just as important. That, you know, it's like you are kind of like as important to this communication as I am. But yeah, I wonder if I can find the right sort of freaks for something more collaborative to happen. But who knows? I don't have to think about that here. I can think about that. I can speculate about that off the camera. Hey. Yeah, I guess we're going in and out of like speculative, temporalized, abstracted thinking, and then sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit more directly reflecting on the state of here and now. But I feel pretty alright with all of that. I do got a whiz again. I'm trying to set you up with a decent view. That's pretty good. These rocks are something else. And what's this, a club moss? Damn. Wild. I'll be more put together next time. Don't watch this episode. I should have told you that at the beginning. Maybe I'll make it the title. Or I'll put it in the description. Just don't watch this one. It's got too many juicy details. TMI. This landscape is TMI, if you ask me. This landscape is TMI. IMO. TMI IMO. Too much beauty. I can't stand it. There's too much beauty in this world. Can't take it. We gotta get rid of this. I want all of this out of here. Get it out of here. Too much beauty. I want this out of here. I want this developed into condos ASAP. What are you trying to do to me here? What are you trying to do to me? Make me realize my essential nature? Make me realize my essential self? You're trying to make me reflect on the nature of life, the universe, and everything? Is that what you're trying to do here? Get this out of here. I won't be content until all of life is monetized. Every damn thing, Every damn thought I have should be monetized. What am I doing out here? Wasting time. I'm wasting my life not monetizing everything. I want this cleared by tomorrow. Tomorrow. We're off task here. Let me just let's get back on the Johnny, and I'll point the camera at myself and I'll talk more continuously. How's that? I won't leave all these breaks where I have opportunity to think of something funny to say. And this way will be more pressure on to look at what more immediately is happening. You know, this immediate experience. What's it consist of? Well, one thing that comes to mind is what do I mean by this experience? What comprises that? How am I delineating an experience as discrete? And of course, when it gets down to it, doesn't seem like there is there isn't really an experience. I mean, if you look, if I start to look more and more accurately at what appears to be my experience, as we kind of narrow in on the nexus of the now, for instance, things, you know, the typical constructions of our experience, for instance, linear time and self-other dichotomy, you start to pierce through those when you start to hone in just on looking at what's going on. And then so like then it becomes more like there just sort of is experience. Like there's some sort of, yeah, there's like experiencing going on, but not with rigid subject and object defining. And then so it's like talking about, even the word experience becomes a little bit less relevant, it seems like, because the idea of the experiencer starts to lose weight. And my intuition is that you get through that, and there's kind of not really experience even, or that it's but you know, let me try to be as honest as possible and be trying to be speaking from experience. And I'm just using that as more of like a figure of speech, because let's just try and be real here. Of course, I'm still speaking, and you're hearing me talk, and so that's got its reality. That's not real. But also, as I say here, here's me speaking and you hearing, and I say that's not real, and I seem to claim that there's some kind of reality to that. It does shed a little bit of doubt on that assertion. I mean, or as in, like, as I say it, there starts to be some kind of doubt, or that it things start to open up, where like that's kind of appears as an optional way to interpret this experience. But then, and also there's the sort of experience going on that I'm sure you've heard me describe many times before, where I start to feel a form of distance from what I'm saying. But it's not exactly distance. It's not like I'm somewhere else hearing myself speak. It's like I still feel I feel even more present with the experience of speaking. But as I become more present with the experience of speaking, I feel a sensation of being less of the agent of that, less the author of that, less the identified as the individual that's doing that. And so there's some kind of expansion of identification going on. And yeah, I don't know. It's like there's talking here that I don't know what exactly to say about the linearity of time, the temporality, just like, and just mean I don't know. There's also this question of, am I actually speaking from experience, or am I speaking from my confirmation bias and my pre-established patterns of thinking? That's a question. So I don't completely know, but I do know that I need to pause and drink some water. See, this is the sort of thing. Drinking water that the default mode of experiencing is good for. You experience time as having a past, present, future. Importantly, you experience that way. Because that experience is guiding you towards and away from various actions. Hopefully towards equilibrium of your physiological state. And I tend to think that the more disequilibrious your physical state, the more intensely you feel the passage of time. Know what I'm saying? The worse you have to pee, like the more intensely you're gonna feel the minutes passing by. Or and that could happen on, or if you're in some kind of like tense argument or conversation, intense conversation with somebody where something feels at risk. I'm slightly discontinuous. Slightly disjointed today. Are you seeing all that sumac down there with the little red spikes? With that vivid red autumn foliage? Get a load of that. Well, let's be honest here. I'm in some kind of state that wouldn't be like this if I hadn't been walking and talking for a long time. That's for sure. But that's kind of, something that doesn't need to be said, because anytime you're in any state, it's like you wouldn't be in that state if things were different. Of course. I don't necessarily feel as if I'm currently operating at like 100% mental capacity, but I still feel engaged in an activity that feels meaningful for me. And by meaningful, what I actually mean is probing towards the edge of meaning. Failing forward into kind of like, yeah, like the meaning's horizon, which is where I want to be at. And in service of that, let's just keep talking along here. And I'll continue to try and describe as accurately and honestly as I can what appears to be going on. Yeah, more of this. There's more of this experience going on of feeling not just identified with the speaking that's going on, and to some extent observing the speaking and the thought process that's going on right now as it feeling more like this emergent phenomena that's similarly on par with like the things happening in the world that I don't predict or expect, but having some linkage with the known, I guess. But so like, yeah, okay, so it's like I can say, okay, I'm here talking, I'm walking and talking, and I'm a little bit lost, look, because I wanted to say, like, I was talking about the known, and I thought I'd be able to say that I can recognize some aspect of the known in what's going on here. Yeah, I don't know. I can, honestly. I mean, I can point to things that I know. Like, I can say that if I throw my hat up in the air, I know that it'll drop down, and there's certain very, very predictable things about the reality which I see. Really, I don't know. But at the same time, like as I'm saying these things, I'm also feeling like I'm having the experience of like categorizing things by thought, or kind of experiencing the thoughts that are forming as having some form of like fragmenting effect on reality. But why? I don't know. Just bear with me a little bit in this dazed and confused state, where it's kind of like I'm I'm starting to formulate a thought, and then I notice all these other dimensions open up in relation to that thought, where or all these other dimensions from which that thought could be approached. And because of that, like the formulation of thought as I was going to do it starts to feel a little irrelevant or insignificant or only partially true or something like that, or not pertaining to a very high truth. And just kind of observing that in something very simple, like asking if there's something, if I know anything. An interesting question, because I guess in a certain sense, yes. But then but then at the same time, I'm not exactly sure what that question means. You know what I'm saying? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by knowing something? What's knowledge? I'm sure a lot of people have thought about this very thoroughly in the past. Well, I mean, not necessarily thoroughly, as in they've like thought about it exhaustively, or completely, comprehensively, but a lot. I'm pretty sure. See? I seem to know something. I seem to know that a lot of people have thought about what knowledge is. Sorry, don't watch this episode. Watch the last one. Watch the next one. But yeah, I mean, and I know that we go through these confusion phases. These seem pretty ubiquitous in walking and talking. An experience of being very just mentally lost and trying to sort things out. And I had made a claim earlier that I tend to enter into some expansive state, but still have access to linear temporal thinking whenever I feel like I need it. And I think that's true. I'm still, accessing memory to walk back to whence I came, so that I'll end up at my car and then be able to get some food and rest and all that. And that, yeah, I'm sure that any other kind of practical thing that comes up I'll have the capacity to deal with it. But what I'm dealing with now still seems to be, well, I guess kind of like the crux of walking and talking, of like, what the hell is this? What is this? What the hell is this? And I can't even actually stop on that as being some kind of summarizing crux of walking and talking. I can't, if somebody asks me what's walking and talking about, well, I mean, maybe if somebody asked me at a party what walking and talking is about, maybe a reasonable response would just to be like, what the hell is this? And then walk away. Just, yeah, no other explanation. Just look at the person straight in the eyes. What the hell is this? Walk away. But for the time being, you know, we don't get that kind of resolution here. We're not afforded the solidity of things here. Or rather, what I should say, what we are afforded is the marvelous privilege of seeing through the solidity of things in a very real way, I think. I mean, I'm saying that assertively, but is the proof actually in the pudding? That is, yeah, am I actually just kind of resting on something solid here, experientially? In some way, I have a sense that, in some sense, there's some kind of solidity here that relates, that may relate some to my physiological state, as in, if I'm a little bit more tired than usual, or the blood sugar is like slightly lower than usual, that I might lack the kind of the sort of capacity of experiencing totally through the self. So for instance, if you're feeling like physical pain, that to me is like an experience of discrete self, of like, you know, if something is biting your finger, your experience is of being a self with a finger. If the kid bites the donut, you don't feel it. If the kid bites your finger, you feel it. So if you're in pain, there's an experience of the self. It's like that's like a manifestation of, I don't know. But it's also possible to experience through pain, to experience the pain as just sensation, and to experience the sensation as just permeability. And so I guess, I don't know. Am I trying to do that now? And if I'm trying to do that, is the trying a kind of, is the trying going to be stimulating a dichotomous experience of reality? Well, I do have these glimpses of all of this that I'm saying, like actually being contained in a more expansive and transcendent and open and non-solid thing, for lack of a better term, or to put it more accurately, of being all in emptiness, of being just a temporary distortion of emptiness. Emptiness grabbed and molded and tied, twisted in knots, and looking at itself as if it's something. Which is kind of cool, actually. It's kind of cool, this phenomena of there being stuff, of there being something. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that there's something, that there's stuff. But that there's also kind of this possibility of experiencing that as emptiness, of not stuff. But as I talk, I still there is still, as you might detect, there still seems to be a searching momentum. Like as I say certain things, I don't feel entirely confident that I'm saying them from the true depth of honestly experiencing them at the moment, but that they might be speaking a little bit more from thought objects that are residue of past experience. And even the fact that I am talking about thought objects and past experience seems to be evidence that I am still to some extent experiencing time and reality in that way. And the fact that I just said that seems to lend evidence to the fact that I seem to be looking for something else, some other kind of experience, that they're, well, I mean, I just kind of said that. I just kind of did a loop where, you know, I acknowledge the searching feeling that that I seem to be looking for something other than this experience. But also, as I say that, like, that can disappear a little bit. I think I think it is disappearing, at least at the time of the initiation of this sentence that I'm saying, at the time of the origination of the thought that became this sentence that I'm saying, that I guess I could say that there was a cessation of the searching feeling, the searching experience, and that I did find myself in an equilibrious physiological and mental state in which I felt able to, what's the kind of word, like equilibrize emotion, or another way of saying that is like accepting my physiological state, for one, like to just kind of, well, first of all, just notice it, just direct my attention towards my physiological state. So especially including all the physical sensation. And so like that might include things that I was beforehand somewhat unconsciously carrying in a state of disequilibrium. And so like the I'm kind of thirsty. I am a little bit physically tired, but also maybe like there's also maybe some adrenaline feeling from having drank in like a matcha latte in the morning. And so yeah, noticing this whole combination of factors, but not so much in the descriptive terms that I just relayed to you, but just kind of directing my attention to the pure sensation of my body, and in doing that, able to kind of like merge it in a way, like to stop feeling these things as demarcating like the limits of my body and the start of the outside world. For instance, like skin sensation, and then also like if my heart's beating a little bit faster than normal because of having drinking some matcha, to just be conscious of that as a physiological phenomenon, just a sensation phenomenon, rather than being unconscious of it, and for that to feed into like a less clear state of like being anxious. And then at the same time, like the visual field, trying to kind of notice it as the visual field, and experiencing it a little bit closer on the spectrum to sensation, or I should say experiencing that sensation as interchange rather than delimitation, rather than a delimiting phenomena that separates me from the outside world. It's an interchange. It's the connection. It's a connecting phenomena between me and the outside world, to the extent that you know, like resting in that, it's like I don't need me and the outside world so much as these conceptual categories. But yeah, in service of increased equilibrium, let me take a pee and drink water. I'll just turn it off for a second. And this really kind of drills into me the value of doing this, walking and talking, even in a sub-ideal state. for me. As in, even if I'm feeling, you know, slightly run down or something, as long as the physical act of doing this isn't going to exacerbate that state, as I'm experiencing now, it is providing a framework in which I am like kind of encouraging myself to like integrate those subideal sensations here and now. And by integrate, what I mean is kind of what I just described, as in being fully present with them as sensation, rather than trying to reject or distract from them or become unconscious of them, but to be able to be present with them in a way that I'm not suffering from them. And so, like, how the way that took place here was, I was walking and I was saying various things about kind of like comparing my current state with some idea. Okay, my battery's just about to die and I can't say anymore, but I just want to say that I love walking and talking. I love that I can do this. I love that you're here. I love you. I love that you watch this. And I love that you have the option not to watch this. And I feel at the moment. Okay, bye.